Only Heineken can do this because it refreshes it. Pop, 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 pop. Other beers cannot reach.
Welcome to the first choice.
And now, preview time. When it comes to entertainment, you can't beat a good film. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The vicar and I are so grateful for your help with the fete. So kind.
Anyone could say the same for the coffee.
What did you say?
Well, it is rather bitter. Have you tried mellow birds?
Mellow birds?
Yes, birds makes a much kinder cup of coffee. See, no bitterness there.
Julie, I think you've converted me.
Mellow birds will make you smile.
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Get back. Get back. Now hold still. And don't nobody move. Don't move at all. Don't no one get out the door or we'll all go. Now, edge back as far as you can go to counterbalance me. Hold on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
This leading replacement battery has a thick rubber case. The rubber isn't power, it's dead weight. Ford builds the Motorcraft Long Life Premium battery with tough, thin polypropylene. It costs more, but you get more inside. More plates, more starting power, more reserve power. But which do you want? More case outside or 12 more pounds for power inside? Motorcraft from Ford. Helps keep you off the hook.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Taxis. Look at that Casablanca, whose logo's really plain, look. Pizza, burger, kebab and chicken, Casablanca, but it's...
Yeah, it doesn't stand out at all, does it?
Just no colour.
Excuse me.
Turn all the colour off. Something's not right about his sign.
Perhaps he thinks less is more.
No, no, no. Something's not right about his sign. That's what I would do at the railway station. Should we do our false beep and pretend to wave to someone that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me wipe my window up there so they don't bloody smack me head in.
They won't get near you.
Watch that bloody road
Yeah,
as well.
I know. We'll show the viewers that death trap.
Yeah. We took off on it, didn't we?
Here we go to pick up our false passenger. Why don't you get some fucking lights, tit? Can't see you. Hey, is that COVID, Marshall?
Probably is. No, it's probably just some turnip.
Carve him up there, you know where you're going. Right, here we go, ready for our collection.
Red phone boxes.
Yeah, it slowly tracks. I can see it tracking there.
We're waiting for Mr. Nobody.
John? Should we go and ask the taxi if you've seen John?
Yeah, have you seen a fella called John hanging around? We're not far off losing our charge on this as well.
Wow, well, go and ask to see if you've seen John. Have you seen John? Have you seen John? Okay, boss, thanks. No, John's not here.
John's not here.
Well, welcome to another episode. In this episode, there's all sorts. I'm talking of a slight lisp because I still got a jab from the dentist. Half my face is falling off. We're at junction 31. Crazy Chris is going to join us on a bit of a road trip. Here he comes. We're hoping he doesn't get a ticket there. You know, some of these service stations, they'll give you a ticket even though it's not a legally binding contract. Chris joins us in the car today. He'll be taking over on the camera work. We're going up to look at a Mk3 Granada. You're going to be watching some work on Ruby's cam belt. You're also going to be seeing a bit of Swampy getting some Halloween cobwebs dusted off for a bit of night driving in Swampy. So this video's got a bit of a mixture. A couple of hours of footage coming up. We might even get Chris to take the helm on the new camera, and let's get some motorway driving in, because Bramble's a great motorway cruiser. Let's go see Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Great Harwood, Dave's territory. This is Marlborough country. He doesn't even smoke. What was that? I'm sure I was talking to you about apple pies before.
You're saying you
yeah, I'm burnt because of my bloody lip. I burnt myself on an apple pie. Bloody a jet of molten Bramley apple shot out about 100 miles an hour. It must have been hotter than the sun. Could have gone your way, could have gone mine. Either way, Chris, one of us was going down. Right, let's go downtown and check this Granada out as we take that usual right-hand turn. It always happens, doesn't it? As the YouTube viewers yawn and go, oh, not this again. Wave to those pedestrians. We always like to bit of a Queen's wave there. Here's the yard, here's the yard, here's the yard. A slow pan round to the left. Chris, out of your side window. Let's see if we can catch those ruffians at work. Whoa! Right, we've got a nose out there, so what's the idea with that? That's the right, that's called reverse. Don't even trust going in front of her, to be fair. It's not got her indicator on, so... Ooh! Is that a Fiesta?
I think I saw a Capri.
Capri? No. Watch this woman, because she can't drive for toffee, this woman. No indicator, doesn't know if she's going left or right. Looks at it as though you're in the wrong. Yeah, of course I was in the wrong. Let's park up and go and check it out. And cut. Yeah. He's making Cortina bits.
Yeah.
Them?
He's making them?
Yeah.
Or he has made that?
He's making them.
No, hang on a sec, Dave. He's made that, or he's making that. Let's have a look. Is that one he's made?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, right. That's what I was meaning. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got 10 of them.
He's got access to chrome in the plastic.
Yes, I know. So I'm trying to get him to use a Mk3 Cortina gauge rounds. These Mark 1 Transit headlight rounds.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that is a wow factor. So a guy has made.
Wow factor? What about them?
Whoa. How? But I'm flabbergasted. I can't work out how someone without a big factory can be making.
Well, he's got a little factory.
Right.
He makes to make stuff like this.
Yeah, but one-offs is always difficult because you've got so much you've got to put into it.
Yeah, so he makes these.
This is a game changer. This guy, whoever's doing this.
Mud flaps.
Whoa, I'll have some for Mk3 Cortina, please.
Oh, you love them.
Can't you cut them to shape? What are they for? Transit?
Yeah, transit. And this whole stuff he's making for transit. He's trying to make things like other stuff. Windscreen rubbers. Mark 1, Mark 2 transit.
But how can he hasn't got a rubber factory to make rubber. I'm very intrigued. Now, Dave, what you needed with this guy, you need an exclusive deal. You just want to sign him up, get him signed up.
Well, I'll keep putting big orders in and...
I'll be keeping him a little secret.
More stuff,
because you've got to cover your costs.
I've got a lot more stuff.
I'm not saying double prices, but I'm just saying if you want to be I wonder where it was.
Yeah.
I wonder where the torch was, puppy.
I'll show you these. I'll show you on.
Is this strictly off limits? Yeah, this is going on YouTube, Dave.
Yeah, well.
Operations Centre. Yeah, and tell you what, the crow's getting worse every time I see it, Chris. One for you or not?
Time, space, money.
It's just getting. It's just not.
I ain't got enough of any of them.
I'd have thought that would have flown out. Some nice Cortina parts in the corner over here. A lovely bulkhead for somebody there. That's not doing it any favours, something like that. A rare part to get hold of like that. You know how I struggle to get my bulkhead. Don't know what wing that is, that silver wing. This transit's not shifted for a long time. Mk3 Cortina door. What about this for your daily? Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Probably in better condition than the Connect.
There's two there. Choice of two. Nothing's really changed except the screen's gone out of the transit. Most of the bits are in the skip. So run us through it, Chris. What car have we got here?
This is a Hillman Hunter Estate.
Hillman Hunter Estate.
rest of the Mark 1 seats in it with the looks of it.
What year?
Played on it. They started making them in 1967.
The verdict's on the Granada. Too good to scrap! Too good to scrap! Shouldn't have been broke, but it was bought for parts. There you go. What can you say till they start becoming really, really desirable? Alan Bullen's late with my springs. Goodbye, Granada. Well, I say the verdict on it is, Chris, that it's a very solid shell. It's as simple as that. It could have been a nice restoration project, but it's fallen into enemy hands.
It looks too good to scrap.
But if nobody wants it, there's nothing you can do, you know. That's it. Storage. What do you do? Does it come into classic car free status? Tax-free status?
32 years old, so it's not far.
So that doesn't help. That doesn't help it at all. Let's have a look.
It's a bit crusty.
Come on, Dave. This has been in stock too long, this Transit. The guy who makes the parts will end up making an entire whole Transit. It's been in too long. He needs to shift this. You've seen the amount of filler on it. Have a close look at that. Yeah. Come in and have a look at this. You want to see some. This is like pre-war filler. Beautiful stuff.
Wow.
It's a credit to them. I mean, I bet he was good at making cakes and the icing on the cake.
I just listen like cars I had when I was younger.
These are the cars you had when you were younger. Well, my springs haven't. Ah! I was just going to say my springs haven't arrived, but here they are. Courtesy of Mr. Bullen. VUL's the name. Parts is the game. It's Alan Bullen's Saturday night takeaway. What did he get? A Granada Coupe Automatic in diamond white. It is diamond white, isn't it, Al? Could be. It's not ermine. Ermine was on the Mark 2.
It probably is diamond. Yeah, but it's good because now it's missing on.
No, it's in good condition. Is it been restored or is it restored?
Well, I've got Bill in there for a £4,000 body job on it. It's 2011. Just like them out.
No matter what happens, Alan, stuff starts coming back on every resto. I've had it on Swampy, I've had it on Ruby.
It is nice, but you know, like chrome and this stuff. Look at this.
What
you don't
year
find
is
it?
Is it 74 or
75? 75. Yeah. It belonged to the treasurer at Mark 1 Owners Club. He owned it from 2001. Got aluminium like shit. Yeah, some guy thing on. He always made that. Somebody's made that. Yeah. Full stainless exhaust builders for that lifetime guarantee. It's got loads of stuff on it. No, they didn't have them. It'll be anymore. It's backing up there like against the wall. There's somebody watching me on it. So,
Alan, is something wrong with bonnet? No, it's a joke. Sorry, it didn't work. I got him there. It's a bigger bonnet, isn't it? Look.
Steering wheel up. I've got sense put in it because I've not centralised it, but I did it, you see.
That's what you do, yeah.
Right, let's have a look. We're under attack. Hold on, we're under attack. What have I got to do?
I've leathered the steering wheel, see?
That's nice, yeah, that is.
I have a feeling it now, difference it makes.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm tempted.
They're very cool, you want.
Tempted, and you can pick your stitch colour, so I'd go ruby with, well, probably
you could have you could have it black with silver, or you could have it grey.
So you need a wooden inlay then?
Yeah.
Have I not got one spare that I had?
No, you didn't. It didn't fit the wheel, did it?
Hey, it will fit that
I
wheel.
need the other bit.
Do you want me to get you one done?
So boys on.
Do you want us to get you wooden?
Yeah, and it's the XL because I put that interior in it, you see. Yeah. Yes, good car. This it's solid as a rock. I've had prop shaft done, Pete. Give it all vibration.
Who did that?
Northwest Props had a new one, mate.
Oh, good. Yeah, Mike did it for you. Yeah. It's a the large diameter prop, like a. There we go.
The seats out of a different car then. I bought the seats off eBay. I offered him 250 quid in Scotland, he would take it, and I won them for 230, which was store price. And they're out of a Motor 3 litre S, and he'd had them 25 years, but they're mint. Yeah, and they just matched the car, already painted car, this colour. When
How
they go up.
how about the badges?
They came from Australia, I think. 40 quid for a pair.
And do we know the story on that design? Was it South African badge had them, or was it off a Lincoln or something?
It's off a Ford.
Yeah.
Ford Lando, I think.
That's it, something like that,
Could
yeah.
have them in that colour, that, but it just looks what GXL ones on, so I just wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen them with them on
But
before.
saying that,
Not that
I
type.
looked at a car a few weeks ago, one of these in blue, and he'd had XLE in the GXL.
Yeah,
badges.
yeah, I've seen that.
Ooh, them are
Oh,
nice.
you're
I've
on
seen
about
that.
you're on about that sky blue.
Yeah.
Sky.
It's nice, is that?
Yeah.
They were having electric power steering for it. I've got electric power steering on this.
We're inside a South African Mk3. Well, what year manufacture, Alan?
74.
74, this one. And it's obviously Essex engine, yeah? Because they did have a bigger engine, didn't they? Was it South African one? Oh, was it? No, was it the Australian ones?
Australian had a 4-1 straight.
That's it. The Aussie ones. Can we look under the bonnet, Alan, please? Electric power steering. Look at this. Hey, Chris. Electric power steering. Hiya! Hiya! Hoo-hoo-hoo! Hello! Oh, yes, please.
That's the same colour as that. Because I'm painting all the car, you know what the difference is? Lack of the car.
Oh, right.
Lack of grill, lack of everything. Bar it off. What? Didn't paint the wing.
Right.
Only painted half at bonnet.
Right.
Because you lacquer it and bring the colour back out.
Yeah.
So it wants cleaning with it, it's full of
Yeah,
all the
it's
grill.
fine. Solid, isn't it? Ready for a bit of Essex action, YouTubers? Courtesy of the Bull and Monster. I know, it's a lovely dog. I like that sticker on the servo, Alan. This is more fun than Dave's yard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty mucky and dark down there.
Didn't have a Granada Coupe either, so. Oh, but.
Nice. I see why Tizzy never kept it, because
Never keeps out. Look, let's just have a down there.
yeah, I know. Saw it under there. Let's have a feel of that.
That's in the middle, that.
Just
I
said
can make it lighter than
to
that.
Bishop. Yeah, it's about the same as a. Oh, it's a little bit tougher than a Mark IV.
But I can make it lighter by
Can
turning
you?
the button, that's it.
Yeah.
All that.
You happy with it like that?
Yeah.
I'd have it a little
Yeah,
bit
if you
more.
have it
But
too light, you tend to, like, when you're coding that, it's
I know.
too much.
yeah, it's
So
all
I'm
right.
happy
isn't
with
it?
it, that. It's
Yeah, yeah,
nice
yeah.
of that. Good little button under you see.
How much is that system? Is it like an adjuster wheel or?
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea, isn't it?
Yeah. Or I can turn it off. But you wouldn't do that with it normally, it'd be two hands pulling it, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, no, I
only
know.
5
Oh, I
cents,
know
10
that.
cents as
Oh
well.
no, man, you never get that round. It's obviously working. It's just, but I don't think you'd get one on the pre-facelift. The dash would hit it. Look.
Yeah, you can put them in them as well, they use it different.
Oh, I don't know.
What? He's done them.
In slow piece.
Yeah.
I might get...
Different setup.
Give me his number then.
That is...
I want one for Swampy.
That is Vauxhall Vectra.
Right.
But it's got a gearbox, and
Yeah.
both because it's had a gearbox. Now some come complete, don't they? So you don't have to do that. So it works on it. See how it ticks so fast?
Sounds nice, that.
It is nice, it's good, isn't it? It's done now apart from the
That's weird, isn't it?
version,
Yeah, interesting. Your build tags are done differently. Not quite flush, aren't they?
Yeah,
and then better not film them actually.
So some of them got some stickers on
Wait.
there. So that's it.
I'll look them up. That looks straight away looks better than mine. 1, 2, 3. There's a 4 in the middle and 2 at the top. Yeah, great. Well,
Come off this, so I mean, it doesn't sit much better. You know, it's just that bit softer. You're off the 2.3 then.
yeah. Well, I went to get the 2.3 ones, and we heard you'd nailed them. So
Oh, that was quite a first thing about that.
yeah,
I think 2.3 ones.
good stuff. Right.
They're go off it. They're
and
not wiping oil, they're ready to fit. They look nice, you know.
I always thought the heater box was different on it to clear the engine, but
No. That's the easy box. If you had to bet one, remember?
yeah. No. Is that plastic one you picked up? Yeah.
It's got half a plastic one and that.
fiberglass.
It's got plastic back, its own front.
Yeah.
If you remember, to make it.
That's it. Yeah.
There's flat roll seats up, we're not never being used.
Yeah.
So I altered it. I
Right.
altered alloy timing gears got front as well.
Let's have a look inside the Granada, Al. I think that orange stripe's the business.
Yeah, fire up, please. It's so fire up. Auto choke's a bit dicky. But
It's probably just a board water, a C3 box.
oh no, sorry, wrong key.
Yeah, you see all the Blaupunkts on the Granadas had them.
That doesn't work, that radio.
Right.
So I need to check that. That's the only thing that don't work. Everything else works.
I get it. I've never driven a Granada before.
That's its problem.
Okay, we're off.
Right, like tick oil. Look, it won't tick oil. I think that's what's happening. It ticks oil at 5.
Right.
Drive it tries to cut out. So I don't know if it's box or not, but I knocked £1,000 off at price at box.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that choke's working there.
Probably not. We've got it now. We're on. Yeah.
So when you try to set off,
It's an easy fix.
I've got a brand new choke. Well, I've got a 44 there, and I've had done with a manual choke.
Yeah, you got. Cause I don't. Try and hold that and
Like
then.
that, ticks oil at 12. When you kick it, it goes down. You say
Something's
choke's not
wrong.
working, is it?
No.
It definitely wants weekend. I'll play with that.
That's a bit of fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, of course it is.
My favourite car interior.
Yeah. I weren't stuck on steering wheel. It's got a motorsport steering wheel on it.
What would it stand?
£1 for a tatty steering wheel, I think.
I tell you what, they're plush inside, aren't they?
It's nice inside as well. They're usually knacking on back pillars.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
This
Yeah,
is very, very nice.
them inner quarter lower panels normally all and the seats as well. That velour. I don't know. It's a good job if it has. It just looks normally, but
no, I think it's original.
no.
Yeah, that's how they work.
That's lovely.
The seats look original with velour
Well,
on.
van roof is, but I think they've coloured it because if you look here, it's trying to come through. No, it'll have been a different colour, and it's just stored.
It's tobacco. It was, Chris.
Yeah. If you look, it's just a bit there on the roof, and on this little piece here. My mate said, we don't have a problem with van roof, do we, Pete?
No.
That didn't worry
Well,
me.
well, I don't know how he is nowadays.
When I get him out,
Yeah.
when I get him out, he'll be all right. Yeah.
You need to, get him sorted.
And it was in a magazine feature as well. I'll show you that in a minute, Pete. You can photograph that.
Come on, doggy. Come on, doggy. Hey, move in there. You're not out there.
Little buyer's guide. Some magazine.
Right.
So like this come with some
I wonder what they did them in blue. That one was in blue as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I tried to buy a blue,
It's,
but it was 20k. And it's not
What
as
colour
nice
is
as
the
that.
blue?
It's, I think it's Olympic blue with a blue interior.
Right, yeah, Marquis interior, maybe same as the Mark 3. Swampy style Marquis. Great. Would you not go for the period plates, or is it?
I've ordered them.
Oh, good.
You haven't come yet.
Because them Perspex ones don't do it any justice. Oh, you mean they were dropping off at Dave's, were they? The plates?
Yeah, 20 quid.
Right.
I've just got some food pickup.
That's cheap, 20 quid.
Yeah.
Who's doing them?
They're the old font though, you know, pre-2001.
Yeah, I'll just keep them, but...
But you shouldn't have Perspex, Chris.
This is what impressed me, is like...
Is that
yeah,
not the
like
right...
them, I've kept them because they're metal.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is they've obviously put on before 2001 cost.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the wider numbers.
They'll put on then, yeah.
Chris is your numbers.
The wider numbers.
But this ain't got... If you look at chrome, look at it's beautiful. I haven't cleaned it. That's as it come.
You want it?
Yeah.
Brand
like
new one.
that, you know, it's...
Yeah,
I've ordered one
well,
for you.
I'll tell you what, it's tidy in there, isn't it? Look at that.
It's a nice car.
That is tidy. So he's obviously, he's gone to town on it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's had everything out.
Well, you can see what's had a front panel in it if you look there.
Right.
It's had a front panel, you can see it repair.
Oh yeah, see that.
And
yeah.
seam seal lower
It goes, yeah.
It's not been built so short, like
It's kept it going though, it's kept it on the road.
Yeah. I just thought it was a nice car for money, and I've been looking for a coupe. I wouldn't have really gone for white in a coupe, but it came.
Yeah, but it's...
Well, you've got a good one condition, haven't you, rather than...
Yeah. We're all autos. We're all autos. Yeah, actually, let's just put a manual in, but they're all autos, yeah.
Right, and on that note, those two cars, we're going to get back on the road. Got our springs, seen some nice cars, seen Dave, and we're out of here. It's Wheel City here.
6 of them as well.
You want mag slots? What are they called? Compromote? No,
Oh,
not
so that's the D1, that.
D1. That's
It's a
it.
genuine
D1.
that.
What's Compromotive? Oh, they're 1600E Rothschild Mark II.
Rothschilds, them, yeah,
Mark
yeah.
II
Yeah.
Cortina, yeah.
Yeah.
And they only.
Yeah, I know, I like them. Yeah. I've just bought a set of sensors to
I did I give you a set of them?
No,
Or was it was given to Dave to
yeah,
sell them?
probably, yeah. They're 14.
Well, you tell you about me wing. He broke me wing up.
Which one? Oh yes, but
2-door wing for 50 quid for 20. I'd have thrown it in the skip for 25 quid. I wanted 100 quid for that wing. Unbelievable. Whoa! Is it blue mink?
What? Oh yeah, that's the original one.
I just can't remember if it was called blue.
Refurbing.
If it was called blue mink, Alan.
Yeah, what about some
This is Cortina City now. Hey, we're in.
Anyway,
Oh yeah, they're Mark III. They were rare them.
I've just had something pick up.
Didn't the South Africans have these?
They're real like that.
Whoa!
I put
Look at that.
You want stock?
Real stock, yeah. These are all stocks, just paint's coming
Well,
out.
Nick's never even had these.
Yeah, that's where they come from. Nick's got loads of them. Look, they're all new all stock, it's just black paint.
No, I
Because
didn't
they've
see
got
them
damp.
in Nick's. I
Yeah,
never
I
saw
know
them.
they
Right.
Oh, that one was.
Oh yeah, we just bought them, yeah.
What
They're
they
off,
call them?
I don't know what they call them, but...
What's
you know what I'm like when I see what
Sex, mate.
Oh yeah, now you're talking, baby.
There's what they are.
Now you're
Bought
talking
for you
to me.
then, mate. They look clean out.
Wow,
They come, but
you
they're
could
good, mate.
feel them. That's the thing. They've got your proper weight.
What?
Not like them
Proper
aluminium ones.
No,
Were
these
those
are-
ones on eBay recently? Aluminium ones.
yeah.
I was going to buy them, and I thought actually I better check with Alan. Grab these, Chris.
You've got some of these already on one of your cars, and you have 2 new ones, you said, didn't you?
I think so, yeah. Look at that, what we've picked up today. Great, they go on Swampy or they go on the other car. Ruby can have them or Swampy can have them.
That's me drill for me pick up.
The guy who's making all the parts
Yeah,
today.
to adapt them, yeah.
Yeah, because of the fingers you've got to chop out. Because the
And I've
otherwise the
bought some
bulbs
of
don't
them
fit.
little,
They're the hellers, the thingy, flat lenses, aren't they, with these bulb types. They're good.
They're,
Good silvers on them.
Yeah.
Autopals should be.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But I
Or
bought
the
some,
Autopals. Yeah, they are.
I bought some stickers off eBay.
Yeah, they're
mega
listing
cheap,
them now.
yeah.
Henry's done them, they're good.
Yeah, I've still got them, yeah.
I don't know whether they'll take the heat or not, I'm not sure.
It's,
And jet washing and stuff, but they look good.
That's a proper car, that. You'll come at bonnet to that. And that's never ever been welded, that car. Never. Never know it, she's...
But do we one of them to lift the Astro up off of?
Yeah, I just
it's on axle stands. And
Oh, I was going to get one of these. Alan, have you seen the other version of this? Have you seen the other?
I mean, I put a full Webasto in this.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm
Oh,
just
are you?
filming that.
So I Cortina at Dave's and me and who was it? Fizz? That's why interiors at it. Needs to go back together. Was 2 wings on because they keep bubbling down here, but I have wings.
Tell you what, it's in nice order. The
I've
lift.
run this for.
I know, but I don't think I saw you take. I only saw you take this out once.
No, you see, I went everywhere in this. Everywhere.
I know you did, but I weren't going the same place as you were
Yeah,
going.
I've been places. We were up that. We were big all were in this. That place at Cheshire. Big
Yeah,
Hall.
Capes on all.
Capes on, that's it, yeah. Remember, this is where we have to go now.
That's right. Yeah,
Took all
I
pictures
just don't remember
outside.
being this nice.
Yeah, we're in this.
I don't think that it was been painted at that point. It's been
Oh.
painted since.
What happened was he had the wings cocked up and paint were a bit off, so he said, I'll just dust it outside.
Right, yeah, okay.
So he didn't know repairs, just
Oh,
dusted
okay.
it. So now I've got to the stage. I'd started stripping everything off because we're going to put wings on and paint the car. But now I've got that many cars, it's like, I'll do it later, I'll put it back together and smoke it for a bit.
What I was going to say, these lifts you got here, they're about 700 quid, are they?
No, it was 12.50.
12.50, that's a good price. Now,
with the wheel-free kits as well.
Yeah, to wheel it about.
Yeah.
There is another version of it, because I don't need that much height, I'll never get it. I don't think my car's going to...
Well, I didn't, that's why I had to adapt the roof to take it, you see.
But couldn't you just make it stop lower down? On
Yeah, yeah.
Can you set it so it doesn't go that high?
No, you just press
Because if
click,
you,
it clicks
yeah,
into
but if you,
it.
some idiot was on it,
Oh,
they just
yeah,
smashed
yeah.
the
Well,
car through the roof. It's too risky.
You have to be careful if the boot's open or the bonnet's open.
It's a good idea, that lift, but they do another one called the mid one, which is not. It's just two like them but separate. The same company does it. He wants 1,200 quid for that, which I thought, well, that's dear company. You can buy all that for 1,200 quid.
Yeah, and wheel kit's 30 quid.
Yeah, there are control boxes over there as well.
Yeah, that's control box, yeah. But I've already wired mine in now because I don't need to move it anywhere. I've already wired it in.
They're a really good idea, them lifts.
Well, you have to have to be crawling out floor, you know, it's the right size, isn't it? You know, you can
Well,
do
that's
what
what
you
I'm doing with my Astra at the minute. It's on axle stands.
61 now, that crawling out floor and again a bad back is...
When I want to do it underneath it, I've got like a piece of carpet that I lay on and like got crops on
I said it's carpet's all over the place. Just I need to have a clean up.
You know, they're on my back doing it with like dust falling in my face.
I tell you what, we've seen plenty. We better get out of here. It's getting late. Thanks for all the goodies, Alan.
Right, action.
Okay, well, we're heading back home now, me and Chris. Just setting the cruise about 50, 60 mile an hour, and we're contemplating on the day's events. What a great day that was. Granadas, Mk3 Cortinas, Mk3 Cortinas. We didn't expect to be seeing a Mk3, that's for sure. I know, just put the auto wipers on. Didn't expect to see a Mk3. I got some springs, some wheel trims, and me and Chris, we put the world to rights. So everything was great. Just going to give you some interior lighting like that. So driving back in Bramble, as we said on the way down, a man's motorway car. That's what it is. Let us traffic in. Press resume any second now. Resume, and we're back to where we were. Driving back and winding down your video for the evening. Hope the live chat's gone all right. And we're going to catch you very soon. But in the meantime, we're just cruising back home. Chris is parked in a lay-by somewhere. He's hoping his van's still there, or not. He might want it to have gone missing. Who knows? Trying to keep that one quiet. So yeah, evening driving in Bramble. What do you reckon, Chris? Why not pan round and let's see the lay of the land? Nice dash illumination, all that kind of stuff. Beat Tom Cruise. Yeah, enjoyed that day out. We put some cardboard down there because we think our feet were muddy from Dave's. Well, not so much mud, it was the oil, really.
Oily.
That sky looks a bit moody, Chris.
Does rather. Yeah. I don't think the camera's picking up how dark it actually is.
Yeah. Don't know if
It's very dark.
It's a nice cruise of this. Everything's just right.
Yeah, nice being a passenger in it.
And we haven't even got the heated seats on. Don't really need them today. idea why I've got a school tie on. No idea. Just forgot to take it off after school. Yep. A meat wagon.
Oh, it's starting now.
Wow.
Starting now.
Yeah, that sky is moody. Let's see if these auto wipers speed up. What a great live test. We've got these patrons and YouTubers and live chat that are spoiled rotten today. And you're going to get quite a nice effect over those hills. There's a little bit of clear sky over there, mixing with the dark sky and the heavy rain. Do you reckon the wipers will speed up?
Should do.
Better out. So far they're staying constant. Might be because it's not going fast. And I thought they were sped up like that.
Yeah.
You can still see.
This is what it were like when the wipers failed on my BMW.
Yeah.
It were raining like this, and they failed and I couldn't see where I was going. Horrible.
Pete C from Cortina City. We hope you're going to enjoy this next instalment. We've got a very special visitor to come and have a look at Project Bramble. But in the meantime, I want to take you to my secret operations centre. We've been down here a long time. There's no access to fresh water. We're running out of livelihood. We're running out of strength and we're running out of supplies. But this is the control board. Well, Mark, this is it. I guess this is the end. It's all kicking off. That GT, I don't think you're going to get time to finish it, mate. This is the end. The GT's gone. What are you going to do with it? It'll actually get burnt, you know, as the bomb drops.
I don't need to get a dip now, though.
Hey! Yeah, just do it for free. Who are you going to thank? Who are you going to thank? It's not Gorbachev anymore. You're going to have to. Oh, Putin! Thanks, Vlad, for the free dip. No need. Just think, the tyres will probably still be burning, and you'll have built your fallout room. You'll be dead.
Yeah, it's just a rattle left. No,
is it real? Is it real? It's actually happening. I don't believe it. Cortina spotted in Sheffield. Mark, are you getting any details for me? It's give me a spec. Base, L, GT, XL. What have we got? Hit me with it. GT spec, estate, base, facelift, pre-facelift, Series 1, Series 2. Give me all the information as it comes in. I need to know where these Cortinas are. There's got to be some. I mean, everybody, because of the coronavirus, nobody's here, but these are normally fully manned.
They're all on the big board.
24 hours a day.
They're all on the big board.
Yeah, that's it. They're all there. They're plotted. We've got Cortinas in Coningsby, Farlingdale, Lucas, Bishop's Court, Bordsley, Neatishead, Patrondon, Staxton Wold, Bulmer and Buchan. These seats are normally manned 24 hours a day with my bespoke, hand-picked team of Cortina spotters and researchers, and that is how on Cortina City we're able to supply you with the very best in Mk3 Cortina entertainment. But as you can see, due to the virus, everybody's gone home, which leaves only Mk3 here, and he's on a tea break at the moment to man this entire operations room. Mark, found any Cortinas, and how's it going? Any, apart from your GT? No, it's something. I think, have you seen Elvis, and how is he if you have? Elvis is very well. Okay, Ruby then was in for some oil leak checks. Gradually the oil was getting worse on the drip. I thought it was the rocker cover gasket, which it probably was, although I thought I'd have a little check, set the engine running to see where the drip was coming from, and in the process of that, as I was in the workshop here right now, ticking over about 900 RPM, boom, cam belt slipped. I heard the engine misfire a bit. It locked up, presumably as a valve hit a piston,
then stripped the cam belt. Here it is on the floor. Stripped it in one position and just stalled the engine completely. You can see here where it stripped it. So we'll go and get a new belt. I've cleaned the front face up, all the parts out, and there we are. Now that's been degreased down so I can get an idea what I'm working with and so I don't get filthy. So degreased with the Super Nectar degreaser. And now we go out to the motor factors, get a cam belt, get the camera, have a look, see if there's any valve contact. Probably is, but let's see if it's bent a valve. Let's hope not. This does turn okay. If it was badly damaged, I would have thought the stem of the valve wouldn't try and retract back in, but it may still not be retracting back in. We need to investigate this. It's never happened to me before. So we're into new territory. And at the same time, news of the shipping of the L, not the GT, the Special Order L car in British Guiana is going to be reaching our shores imminently. No dates on that yet, so stand by and hold on. Let's go to the motor factors. Let's get Bramble as the backup car now, and Bramble takes us to the motor factors. Off we go. It's a Bramble scramble. Come on, Bramble, and get us a cam belt. Bramble scramble, backup vehicle now. Stable next to Swampy. In we go. Locked and loaded and ready to go. Come on, Bramble. Come on. Let's go and get that cam belt. Yeah. Don't you worry, we'll keep our spirits high. The damage might not be that bad. Okay, Bramble then, on the way to get the cam belt. Let's get this job done. Let's get to 50, then cruise on. Light rain, as always. We'll stay positive. We might be alright. The engine might be okay. If not, heads off. What can you do? Cruise on. Thank you. That new 5700 ECU doing us proud. Special video for Patreons. Don't need a bug wash. Wipe screen clean. Music on then. Let's cruise.
Music.
Let's may as well take it easy. Whoa! No bumps there.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me how long you gonna stay at home. Some people say this town don't look good, slow.
Roads are clear. Open the taps. I think we're clear. Open the taps. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! Bunny skipping! I'm gonna get them springs sorted or we're gonna be off-road. We're gonna be in a hedge. Oh crumbs. Them back springs, I've got to stiffen them up. Help us, help us. It's bunny hopping. We're bunny hopping. Oh, watch out for that little bit of light rain. Could have just skidded this up a bit, but keep it down. Keep the taps down, boy. Careful, steady. No problem. Let's go get the cam belt. Enough playing about. Okay. Okay. Take it easy.
I've just done a U-turn. I've just passed, I don't know if it was a Cortina or an Escort on the back of a low loader in my local vicinity. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Classic car on the back of a transporter. Looked like a barn find. Orange, I think. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Where is it? I can see it. I've caught it up. Let's go and see where it's off. They might have Cortinas, who knows? They might need parts. I've got some Escort bits. If it is an Escort, I've got Cortina bits. If it is a Cortina, orange, orange, orange. Scramble. Watch for the bikes. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Back of a low loader. I'll catch it. It's just round this corner. I've caught him up. What we got? We always bring you road footage. We did it last time on the road trip video, and we're doing it again. Escort, I think. Is it a Ford? I think so. We're used to the zoom. It is, it's an Escort, it's Mark II. Hold on, sorry about that, I went off topic. It's a Mark II. He's flashed his hazards. I think he might pull over for a chat. He's flashed his hazards. I think we're going to get a chat out of this. Let's see if we can pull him over. Wow, we can't go anywhere. Some Saturday night fun. Okay. He's just going to come off. He's taking this corner. What the hell? Maniac. It's going to come off. You thought Pete Seat gunned it. You take it, Captain. He's gonna boot it around here. So can he take it, Captain? He's going that quick. I can't keep up. It's almost like he doesn't want me to catch up. And he's taking some very strange turns. Almost going back on himself. I don't understand. Why would you want to get away unless there's no reg plate on the back of it either? Things are beginning to look fishy. Could we have? No, he's pulled in. No, he's gone left. That's a strange way to go. Hold on. I'm going to have to call the pursuit off. He's gone. He obviously doesn't want to stop. Okay, that's the end of that. I'm not following him anymore. Okay, after that mad little trip to pick the gate up. Gate, the belt up, gates, and an Escort Mark II chase. God knows what happened there. We're back. And now we're going to have to set the timing up again. We're going to have to get the camera out and make sure there's no valve damage. So camera first. Let's see if we can see any damage inside the pistons, inside the cylinders. Okay, I'm in with the camera and I can see a valve contact point there if you look. So that's the first cylinder. The others are okay. The first cylinder looks like that's going to be, I think it's the inlet. It's made contact with the piston, so we're going to have to check now. These valves, we could have bent a valve or we could have got away with it. I don't know. We could put the belt on and compression check. If we're alright on compression check, we may be alright. First we're going to spin the cam and just see if the valve goes all the way up and doesn't show any signs of sticking. Other than that, the only thing I can do is fit the cam, turn the engine over and go for a compression test. But if the valve's bent, then the head's got to come off and we've got some damage. We'll have to get a new valve fitted. Hope not. But there's the camera, in it goes. And out we come with the inspection camera going into piston 2 or cylinder 2. You'll see it reading out. It's hard to do it whilst I'm on, but we go in. You can see the piston there. This has got no contact on it, neither of the others, so that's all I can suggest. Only contact is the first cylinder, and we might be alright. So we're going to look closely at these valves now, folks, and just see. Let's get a 17 on here and spin this up. Just initially putting a feeler gauge on the exhaust valve, 0.25, and that's still got the right clearance, I think. Definitely the inlet's 0.2. Let's see and get a 0.3 into the exhaust, because if it's gone, it'll not come all the way up and seat, so affecting the clearance here. You'd expect this clearance on this rocker follower to be quite big, because the valve's not coming up to close the gap, so that'll give us an indication. I did set these only a few hundred miles ago, so if I pick a 25, or no, if I pick a 30 and a 30 goes under, then it's opened up. At least if a 35 goes under, it's really opened up, so we can tell the degree that that valve's not seating based on my clearances. So I'll just do that now and have a quick check. I'm hoping that a 30 won't go under here, in which case I'd expect the valve to be coming all the way home. If the stem was bent, you'd get funny clearances, and indeed in extreme cases the follower would fall off because it's got nothing to support it. If a valve gets stuck down, sometimes that can happen. Anyway, we'll see. And it's good news, a 30 will not go under, so that one's okay. Exhaust, and I've done the inlet, and the 25 won't go under the inlet, but the 20 goes in, so those seem okay, and there's no other impact points. So I'd imagine if we put the cam belt on now, dial it in correctly again, we'll have to get the pointer out and dial the cam in, then spin it up with no ignition, just with no ignition lead, spin it up and do compression tests. Hopefully we're going to get even compression across. That means there's no damage been done, and we should be back in the game. There's a fuel leak on the carburetor. That's brand new, that carb, but it's dripping from underneath around the area of the accelerator pump. I'd imagine there's either the gasket on the accelerator pump or something else, but I did check that gasket because I tried to fix this leak before and it's still leaking. So we got a fault also with the carb. That's why there was always a petrol-y smell around. Drips for a little while, and you can indeed see evidence of that. See those stains showing us that petrol's been leaking over a period of time. So some tuning and tweaking to do, but it's all part of the game. We enjoy it, as long as it doesn't turn out into catastrophic fails. Patrons, let's... Yeah, that definitely looks like the inlet impact. Just the edge of the valve, the outer rim of it, if you look. And that's why I heard that slight pinking noise coming from the engine just before the failure. It brought me attention to it, and just as that happened, bang. So what's happened is the teeth have slipped. Let's come out. Hold on. Let's get you autofocus on. Come on. The teeth have slipped because the belt's contaminated. It's jumped a couple of teeth. Started knocking on inlet number 1, which started to make a metallic tapping sound as I was in the unit, as I was in the workshop. I was looking for oil leaks. That's how this happened. I was at it up on the stands looking for the oil leaks, and I heard this ding 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 ding. Is that a good impression? Ding 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 ding. Is that a good impression? I should try and simulate it. No, not even that. Yeah, that's about right. That's what I heard. And so I started looking for loose bolts, and then just as I was looking for loose bolts and getting ready to clean the oil to find the original oil leak, the cam belt snapped. Well, that's a good place for it to happen, in the workshop, better than out on the road. And we were about to go on a long distance drive in this car, so this is great that it happened. You can see that something's gone because it's splashing up oil, so a seal has definitely gone, whether it be the rocker cover, whether it be the cam front seal, or the sprocket, the auxiliary sprocket seal, or indeed further down onto the crank area. We don't know. But by cleaning it all off, reassembling, we'll see if we can spot it. If it's one of those more hard to get to seals, we're going to have to strip back down again, but There's nothing we can do, we're going to be guessing otherwise, so it's best just to see if the engine's alright, run it back up and then start really closely looking and hope that it's just the rocker cover, gasket, or indeed the sump perhaps, and we can nip something up. It only really leaves you with some options. The cam shaft seal, the auxiliary drive sprocket seal, or the bottom sprocket seal, and then the sump, possibly the distributor, and you've got sump, distributor, and the rocker cover seal. Even worse situation would be between the block, but I doubt that. In other words, the head gasket seal. We're not going to know until we put it back together. So it's cam dial-up time. Now we're going to use the protractor wheel. It's 110 degrees past top dead center, inlet valve number 1 on full lift. So here's valve 1. We're going to have to put the dial gauge on it, turn the cam until that's at fully lifted position. Is it fully lifted or fully open? Oh, I'm going to have to consult with the book. I think it's fully lifted, but does lift mean open or does lift mean shut? I'd imagine if it's shut you wouldn't have to do any measuring, so it must be when the lobe is fully pushing down on inlet 1. Time to consult the book. Do you know what? I know how much. I'm 3 nearly 6. 3 nearly 6. Backwards. I can't believe how quick you forget. I've already done this not that long ago. I've still forgotten. Protractor wheel and dial gauge next. PC. Cortina C. Let's hope we can get back in the game. Haha. Okay, got the dwell meter on inlet number 1 at full lift. That's when the lobe of the cam just there is pushing all the way down onto the follower, pushing the valve fully open. And there's a dwell period where if I continue to turn the cam, you get a point of what's called dwell, where the lobe doesn't do anything till it comes back round. So you find that by setting that gauge up, you can find that right in the middle of the dwell. It's the point where it's not doing anything until you get past that lobe. So the dwell is located physically the very top part of the ear of the lobe, the lobe of the cam. And that's set there now. So what we're going to do now is find top dead center here by putting our gauge in the piston till it comes all the way to the top, which will line up with the top dead center mark in there. Then fit the protractor to the front of the wheel, then zero that up, then turn the crank 110 degrees past top dead center, then lock the cam belt on. We loosen the sprocket bolts and assemble it all loose, tension the cam up, then tighten up these so that can move as it wants to. Because if you tighten this up first, when I put tension on the idler and tension the belt up, it's going to try and turn this a little bit and you'll lose your camshaft timing. I learned that the hard way. I've done that mistake myself. So we leave loose, fit the belt, get TDC, we've got to get the protractor bolted on, we've got to lock the bottom pulley so we can undo the 19mm. At the moment it's so free, the engine, that it's hard to get a spin up on this 19, so we need to lock this and have to wrap an old belt round this just to grip it, or jam a piston. You don't want to jam a piston because you'll dent the piston, so we've got to lock this wheel, get the protractor on. Here's the protractor coming up. I'll just get it out of the box. Stay with me. We've got the 90s on the radio. Grab. Here it is. So we stick that on there. We've got a little pointer bar that comes with it. That I made, that works with it. And we're looking at 110 around here. So we'll turn all the way, then lock it all together. That's it. And then hopefully do a compression test next, spinning it up on the key, check all the compressions are similar, then go about putting everything back together. Hopefully there's no damage done. PC, working on it. Okay, the protractor is on. zeroed there. We're at top dead centre. There's my pointer that I've screwed onto the alternator bracket, the power steering pump, and the pointer just touches there at 0. We're going to go 110 clockwise, that's the direction of engine travel. 110, and once we park it exactly at 110, then double check our inlet valve is fully open, then lock the belt on, and that's it. Should be right. Okay, 110 degrees after top dead centre turned. That little black mark there on the dial represents the dwell point of the inlet which we're on. So now it's time, the cam belt's on, now it's time to lock the adjustable vernier right in the middle of the vernier, right in the middle of the slots, so it's got adjustment either way. So it kind of gives us some tolerance. So this will now adjust either way if it had to. That's now locked. We have to keep turning it to lock, but that is okay. So that's on. We're in the dwell point. You can see just at the base here is the lobe. So inlet valve 1 fully open at maximum lift. The cam, the crank 110 degrees past top dead centre for this particular cam. Each one's different. For the FR30 cam, we're 110 clockwise after top dead centre. Place the belt on, or I had to put the belt on first because of the bottom pulley. I had it just loose so you could lock round. Get it threaded through, then lock on at the top when you're in this position. Spin round, then come back and rock it exactly in the middle of the vernier, making sure you're still in the dwell, and that is it. That should turn over without any interference from the valves. We just need to set the tension wheel now. Check that we can do our turn. You're looking for, that's way too loose, and this tensioner is fully released, which leads me to believe that there could have been a tensioner problem on this that's caused the belt to slip, because that is the tensioner wheel fully released. So it's not doing enough work to bring that wheel, that belt, tense. Something tells me something's wrong there. We're going to check that now and just see. We're going to rotate the engine a few times and just see if we can get this to bed in. Let's just see what's going on. No, it actually looks like the tensioner wheel's locked back. Must have just bounded up. It's just locked back. So I'll loosen that 13, and that middle splined to the special adapter goes in that. This in my hand coming up to you now. The spline adapter. Let's just make sure that's loose and that bolt's loose. That tension needs to push across. Get rid of that slack. Then we'll wind it round. Okay, we're all dialed in. We're all set up. We're ready to do a compression test now to see if the valves are seating okay. So here's our pressure tester hooked into the cylinder. I'll stick you on the tripod. We'll go to the engine bay, the cockpit, and we'll turn the car over. I'll point you on the tripod. At the gauge, there it is, so off you go. Let's go and see what we get. Tense moment. Okay, here we go for cylinder 1. Let's hope. Here we go. What we got? I can't see. In the green. We're in the green. Yes. Okay, that seems to be behaving normally. Just about right. Just the far side of the green for cylinder 1. Let's do the rest. Great. It's looking good so far, but that doesn't mean that so far we're out of trouble, because we've got 3 more to go. These long nose pliers, long nose grips come in very handy. I've got these at a car show. Unscrew that. You go off the pod out with this device. A little bit more needed. Let's get you set up on piston 2, cylinder 2.
see what we get, folks. Right, you'll have to be upside down for this one, sorry, or you might shake a bit. Second test, second cylinder. What we got in the green, about the same position, slightly less compression there, but still in the green. Okay, cylinder free. Come on, baby. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Talk to me. Lower, 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 lower. But still in the green. I am tight there, aren't I? Did nip up a little bit more. I'll retry 3. There it is on 10, so it's markedly lower. Let's get you back in the frame. Hold on. Up you go. Whoa! No, 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 hold on. Let's stabilise you a bit. Anything? Anybody? Yeah, 100 just about in the green. That one's not as good, so I'll double check that with the camera. But I don't think that had any piston contact. We shall double check the valve clearances as well. So 3 lower. Let's see 4. 4 is in and ready to test. Here we go. That one's better. About the same, 120. So it's 3 that reads slightly lower. So it's 3 that will investigate with the camera and the feeler gauges on the valves to make sure they're closing correctly. Let's inspect 3. Everything else looks okay. This is 3 and I'm not seeing any evidence of valve contact with the piston crown. Looks good. Can't see anything there. Some debris there, but it's not a contact mark, that. That looks alright. Can you see alright? It's just a camera versus a camera for you. Oh, it looks okay. Get the mirror on and look at the valves. We'll look upwards at the valve with the mirror. Okay, so that seems alright. We'll now go and check everything's okay here with the feeler gauges. We'll check all the clearances anyway while we're at it. But maybe it's just the way they are. Some valves, some cylinders may never give the same reading across. In fact, I'm sure I remember when people do the cylinder readings, pressures, you get a sort of different set of figures, and there might be a tolerance of 10 for all we know. Well, I'm going to do some googling on that, but for now we'll carry on. Check here and just see if the clearances are good. Double check everything, put the mirror on the camera and try and look up at the valve, and then we'll move on. Okay, we're continuing on with the extravaganza. Some of the valve clearances are a few mil out, so I'm going to go through them all again. Can't see anything untoward around cylinder 3, and our pressures were good for a Pinto. I know it was a cold test, so they can only get better. I was not really testing for compression as such, more of any indication of valves not seating. Before I do anything else though, I'm going to fix this carb leak. You can see that there. And I think it's the accelerator pump gasket. Let's get the torch on for you. Here's the accelerator pump on the side of the Weber
carb. There it is, broken down or split apart. Now I'm thinking, let me get the torch stable. It's clean, but the clues are in your deposits of gunk. Now, the gumminess of the petrol seems to have been coming out of the lever area there. Well, there is evidence of it on top, but it could have blown it up onto the top. If it is coming from the top and it's not the accelerator pump, then it could only be that top gasket there. I wouldn't have thought so. It's possible, but there isn't enough evidence there for my liking. I'm going to go for this seal. So what I'll do, stag seal is probably the best stuff for this. I don't know if I've got any, but really it wants a very fine smear of sealant, but we don't want any to get inside here and then contaminate the jet, the accelerator pump jet. That's the problem with doing this. That fits that way on, goes on under pressure. So that red gasket is the face seal there. Now I wouldn't have thought it was that seal to that face for this reason. If it is coming out of that plunger arm or that fulcrum arm, whatever you want to call it, activating lever, then it would have to have leaked past the red to get into the back of the housing. So I'm not sure how it's getting out, really. I suppose actually must be getting past the red, because that's all self-contained in there. So the only other way is that it's getting through that disc, and the way that this is assembled is broke down. It's difficult to say. I think all we can do, I mean, it's not perforated, that. There's not much to it really. It's not even a diaphragm really, it's actually that disc face that pushes in. It just flexes on this red, and that's the gasket seal. So it could be that gasket seal. As that gasket seal went, you'd get it leaking past that face and into here. It's curious how it's built, because if you look, that slots in there on that other gasket, and the only way it could get in to come out of there is to go round. It's difficult. I can't see it would get through this disc. I'll try sealing the faces up. That's all I can do with that. I don't want to take the carburetor to pieces. It's not my forte. I don't think it's coming in from the top and dribbling down. There's not enough deposits. More clues are really there, look. You can see that it gets out of this. That's not exposed to the air, so you don't actually get that gunge build up till it's exposed to the air, and then it reacts. I don't know. I don't think, I mean, it does also look like it's been coming in from the top though. And this could be a red herring, you know, it might not be that at all. But the only other place then is up on that seal there. It does look a bit grubby. There's also a dead end hole there. I don't know what that's for. A casting hole there straight ahead of me. That is the bowl there as well, but I don't think so. It's possible. That top seal. It is possible. I think the only way is to definitely rule this out by sealing it and then keeping our eye on it and seeing where the petrol comes from. But it's when you switch off, it drips. So that's one thing to be doing, and then the valve clearances as well. So I've got to get the 0.2 and 0.25 feeler gauges. We'll put that back together now with some sealant, and then get on and just go back through those valve clearances, then clean up so we can get the gunk off that inlet manifold so it looks a bit more presentable. You can see why it'll smell of petrol. It's quite a significant leak over time. let's see what we can do. Curiously, the leak doesn't go down that face. It's as though it's pushed over the edge, which would make more sense. It's not making it onto that, it's making it from that. If this was gone, I'd expect it to come down the back of this, round, and then be leaking here. It seems to be more that it's coming from that to get it pushed outwards. We'll see. Things to think about. You might have experienced this yourself if you've got a Cortina or any car with this Weber carb on a Pinto, Capri, Escorts, whatever you're on. Let us know if you have spotted something similar on yours. Anyway, valve clearances after we've reassembled this. Right, with some fuel pumped into the carb just before I start doing the clearances, it's still leaking. My conclusion would be the diaphragm is perforated, but a hole that I can't see with a naked eye, because there's no way it's leaking around those gaskets. Has to be coming from the diaphragm itself with a perforation. You'd expect it to go worse as you pump the accelerator, but it doesn't seem to. It seems to do it when it's idle. So I'm going to say that that diaphragm there is perforated. It's the only way it can be getting out. It is actually coming off the lever arm, it's not coming from the top, so there is a fault on that there. And it makes sense because that part is under pressure when you operate your pedal. So it could be that it's broke down, it could be that it can't cope with the fuel additives perhaps, and it's broke it down, and there's a minor perforation in it. I'd say that's got to be what it is. So that carb can't go back on until we get a repair kit for that. So we're not going to be going today, I'm afraid. We're going to need some bits. So we'll go and order one of those and see if that helps. We'll get a refurb kit for that accelerator pump. Okay, well, enough of the carburetor for now. I've now got another mod I'm going to do before everything comes together. Okay, a new camera also on the way, so watch out for that. I got a new gasket for the inlet there, a Victor Reams 1. I've picked a injection gasket simply because it suits the injection head better, although I must say it seems to be a slightly different shape. We shall see. Just make sure that fits. If not, we've got a standard gasket as well. I don't know if it's a Victor Reams one, the other one, but for this one I want to get a good quality gasket. I don't want any leaking. I'm going to put sealant's not normally needed, but I will put it around that waterway. Okay, probably use well seal on that, so that's the best stuff. Doesn't break down and end up in your engine. Other thing I'm going to do, I don't like these rattly spring retainers here. Look at this. They're just not much force, and they probably shouldn't have too much on them anyway, but they're very easy to pick off. Too easy for me, really, they're just very loose fitting. This one's hardly even gripping it, and one of them on this side was, look, I mean, I've not even tried to get that, and look, it's not even, look, it doesn't even hold it down. And that's going to create rattle. The rattling we might be hearing could just be the fact that these aren't gripping and holding that as it should. It's probably just letting too much movement. I don't know why that is. I'm sure they were new, but let's assume that they weren't new. I've now got some HD ones, high definition, heavy duty, high definition, that's a television. From Burton's, heavy duty ones. So we're going to replace all those with these. I've already put two on here, and look, let's just place those there. Look, or listen rather, less rattle. Here's another one fitted, less rattle. Let's find an equivalent positioned cam, because it's only fair comparing like for like on the lift. They just seem, look at that, listen to that. It's all out, look, it's, whoa, whoa! Steady tiger, that's English for stop a horse. What? I haven't even tried, so that's not good. That's English for stop a horse. Whoa! Let's put the heavy duty ones on. and they should grip and pull down on that better. Now, why is this? You know, why does this happen? Why have I let that slip the net? Want to know one of the reasons why? Because I've got a lot to learn about engines. It's something I don't know much about. See, that one I can't get on with my hand. That one needs the pick, so I get the pick and I hook it like a hook-a-duck, and I hook that on. Going to replace all those spring retainers, those follower spring retainers, whatever you want to call them. I just don't like the way they don't look strong either. Look, they don't look. Whoa! And I'm going to say it again. That's English for stop a horse. Wow, they're just. I think that could have been part of the rattle, because I've already done the clearances on this engine once before, and it still rattled. It still sounded like a sewing machine. I've heard some Pintos whisper quiet. I know you're never going to get a completely quiet Pinto engine. Or are you? Because out there in YouTube land are experts on building Pintos. Out there in YouTube land are people that have had Pintos longer than me. Out there in YouTube land are people who can do engines better than me. But watch out, because I'm going to catch up as quickly as I can and learn along the way. And who'd have thought, since 1991, I've been running Pintos. But only recently, really, have I got into the engine side of things. Just doing something like this 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been anything like as confident. But it's not as a mysterious science as you would be led to believe. There's actually not really much in it. That isn't to underestimate or to belittle or to trivialise anyone that's good with a Pinto, because it's an art form as well. Let's get those fitted. That's going to help, I'm sure, a lot. And ask ourselves the question, why? Oh, why are those so weak? Answers on a YouTube postcard, please. Experts in Pintos or Pintos experienced people on YouTube and Patreon, please feel free. Constructive comments only. None of that naughtiness, or you will just be ignored. There's a 0.01% of naughtiness, which I think is bloody good. And there's a 99.99% of constructive, encouraging feedback. That small fueled 0.01% fueled by jealousy. Those people, they just want some help and attention. We'll offer it you if you want. Just keep watching and we'll get you giving us everything that you want to do. None of that bitterness now. You ain't a can of Tetleys. Let's move on. PC is on the engine. This is Project Ruby. Stepping back, just in case you forgot where you were in the workshop. You are here. Move along. Okay. Let's get these. They just feel a lot stronger than the other ones. And I hope that anyone who's into building these engines isn't really cursing me. I hope they're saying, yeah, good move on the heavy duty follower springs, if that's what you're called. If that's what they're called. I think that's what they're called. I did order them from Burton, so I should know what I ordered. But they grip and hold down the follower a lot better than those ones I've just removed. I know that because they're harder to fit. You've got to pull up. Oh, that's better. They're not rattling like they were. I wonder if that was the problem all along with the rattling noise. Clearances were okay. Well, there was one that the clearance was quite far out, despite me having set it last time. I must admit, I don't enjoy setting valve clearances. I don't find it an enjoyable hobby. I think it's quite laborious. It's not too bad if you're all stripped down like this, I guess, but when your carbs on, your inlet manifold's on. People seem to tell me that they like doing it, but each to their own. I like wiring things and other people hate wiring things, so each to their own. One last one to go on. So I use this pick hook to lift them up, seems to work for me. There we go. 1, 2, oh, one more to go. Don't forget that last one. You won't be going far if you don't fit that. Click. And up. Oh. That's it. All of them are on. I think they'll run quieter with those fitted. I think that'll run quieter with those fitted, rather, I should have said. I'll show you something else I've bought. Come and have a look at this. Again from Burton's, a rubber gasket for the rocker cover instead of that cork one. Cork one. Yeah, it's alright. That was mine. It wasn't damaged. But not much of them. They're not the best. That's why they changed this design later on to a wider fit. You can see that I've prepped that with oil when I fitted this that time. That's why it comes off easy. See, we're going to fit the rubber one and see how we get on with that. So get that from Burton. I think it's just a bit of a, it can withstand being crushed a bit better. These, when you crush them, look, there's hardly anything left. And if you nip them up just lightly, you never get it to seal. I don't know. Again, engine builders will probably have just the right tension that they've learned over the years how to get it just right. Do we Hylamar the threads as well? I don't know. Well, that's just not a good shape there straight away, just feeling that. The shape of that rocker there is not flat. It's actually dented. So I would struggle anyway. Slightly crushed in a bit there. Anyway, we'll get that fitted. Here we go. Okay, it's time now to fit this diaphragm. We think the fault is going to be this thing. So, here's the new one. Get that into the carb and then refit carburetor. We should be ready to test this. Hopefully there's been no damage to the engine with that cam belt teeth slipping out. Let's get this fitted. Simply a case of 4 screws here. Inserting that. Don't think we need any sealant or anything on there. It should just look after itself. Maybe a very light smear, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so. Because it's petrol, we'll just let it seal itself. We don't want anything going in that accelerator pump. Any form of gasket seal on there is a no-no, I would have thought. Simply because it's going to go into the accelerator pump jet and block it up. So straight on really for that, and then let's get this in the bay. Away we go. So we'll work on that now, and we'll show you that fitted. Then I'm going to fire this up. Okay, excuse me. Okay, I've just spun up the engine to pressurise the fuel line. Okay, and the accelerator pump is working, so it's squirting the fuel down into the barrel, and it looks like no leaks this time. So it was. Hang on, let's get you locked on. Just still learning to use the camera. Where's that accelerator pump? There it is. So no leaks from that now. So all we've got to do is clean the carb up a little bit, because everything else is nice and clean. So that was what that was looking like. The fault with this, folks, was the diaphragm there was perforated. That was causing the drips onto the inlet manifold. Which is why I had that petrol smell when I used to switch the car off. It was annoying me for quite a while. But now we're good to go. So I'm just going to get a toothbrush and just clean up the carburetor a little bit, because everything else, as I said, is clean. And then we can put the spark plugs back. Now those spark plugs, come over here and have a look at the spark plugs. I've just laid them down by the battery charger here, the jump charger. Have a look at these, put your light on so you can see clearly. Well, this camera does pick up very well. Spark plug number 4 coming into your view now. How does this camera deal with close-up shots? I'm not sure. It may not have macro, I don't know. Probably doesn't have macro. Time to test the camera. Doesn't look like it. So this may not have a macro. But the plugs are all a light tan colour. That one, curiously, is whiter than the rest. That's number 3. So we've got 4, 3, 2 and 1. Sorry, 4, 2 and 1. Nicely tanned. With 3 being whiter than the others, but still alright. And I'll investigate the camera settings to see if there's a macro setting on it. Certainly good for wide angle, certainly good for pull back shots. We can put new plugs in if we want. We may as well start with new plugs, so we'll gap some new plugs up now, I think 0.6. Gap up the plugs, fit them. This car should start. We're back to where we were. Okay, plugs are gapped, 0.8mm on the gaps. I'll show you the little gapping wheel I used in a sec. So I'll just torque these up. Let's get the torque settings for the plugs. Can't remember what it was. But what I use to gap these is a nice handy little gapping disc. Here it is. Hold on. This is great. Little disc. Just goes between the electrodes, and you can just lever out your gap till it's 0.8. It's also got imperial on the other side. So according to the Haynes, we're on 0.8 gap. NGK plugs in. I would always recommend NGK plugs. So with that in mind, we are now ready just to put a bit of torque on the plugs. One more to tighten up. Leads back on. We've got a spark. I've just rocked the distributor at top dead centre like this. Distributor's still loose, we'll have to nip that up now. Number 1 lead was sparking at TDC. So there, everything's right, should fire. There's no reason why. Hold on, stabilise this. Let's see if we can do a lock. Tilt lock, there we go. I'm learning the camera. Tilt lock. No reason why it shouldn't fire up. Obviously no water yet. We don't want to fire it for more than a couple of seconds. And then put the radiator back on. We should be back in the game, and then it's a case of leaving the cam cover off to find where that oil leak originally was coming from. No sign of any oil leaks at the moment, so whatever it is, it's what's coming in under pressure. But the biggest culprit probably was the rocker cover. So we'll see. But we're nice and clean. As I said, I've got to just clean up that carb a little bit, just with a toothbrush there. Then we're done. So any second now we'll start the car very briefly, then get the water in it. It's all sounding good so far. Just letting the water prime through, check the gauges, see what we're up to. Temperature's starting to climb. Just a question of getting the airlocks out. Tick over's nice, engine sounds quiet, so I think we're okay. And I'm going to start looking, see if we can see any obvious oil leaks. We might see none because it could have been the rocker cover. But that looks good, fired up all right. Okay, we seem to be okay there. Okay. A double okay for you. Got that running 10-15 minutes. Let it pressure up. Be wary, we've got a lot of hot pipes knocking around, but just checking for any water leaks, can't see any. Checking for oil leaks, can't see any. I did find a loose sump bolt, we've tightened that up, that might have been it. No leaks coming from the front. Remember we said we've got to try and find the leak, but cam belt's dry, so there's nothing really bad. Whatever it is, it's either been a very slow leak over the years, or it was the rocker cover. Now we've got that rubber gasket on the rocker cover from Burton's. We're hoping that'll perform a bit better than those cork ones. Bit of an art getting those cork ones right, you can do it. But the rubber gasket just seems to me a better fit. Time it up, initially I've timed this up at 8 degrees after TDC, which this cam seems to like, around the 8 degree mark. So we'll run it and just see if there's any pinking. If not, we'll knock the time. If there is, we'll knock the timing back a little bit. So that's just a question of fine-tuning the dizzy here. This is a H&H distributor with electronic pack on the side. You can just see the electronic pack. Expensive compared to AccuSpark, and I don't know the difference really between them. Apparently was matched for an FR30 cam, although we'll have to see. I don't know. This engine is more powerful than Bramble's, yet they've got the same engine bar the distributor. Could be this gives us more power, it could be that H&H know the stuff, I'm sure that they do. Apparently it's matched to the cam. Whether that's just a marketing ploy, I don't know, but they certainly gave a good service at H&H. It's just that I'm a little unclear exactly what's going on in this, and indeed I did have to change the diaphragm broke on it. Here, the vac diaphragm, it needed a new one. The ignition pack's on the outside, quite close to the block, but it just about makes it round for your adjustments. So we'll see. The new spark plugs went in and got gapped, of course, as we saw. Power steering had a slight leak on the bottom return pipe. Basically got a Crowfoot 19, some PTF, and nipped that up. That stopped that annoying leak that's always had. And there's the only leak I can see, if it is, it's coming from the back sump bolt. But it may have calmed down. Indeed, if you want to come under with me, let's go under. I've never used this camera in confined spaces, so let's see if we're able to actually use this camera. I'm sure we can. It's just it's a different game than the Panasonics I've used. Under we go, then instantly you'll notice the sound's better. But remember what I said, those Panasonic cameras did us great. You know, they did us fantastic. I'm not going to knock those. They're brilliant cameras for what they were, but they're past the sell-by date. Lovely cameras though. I'm going to put them up in the Hall of Fame. But this little Osmo camera is great too. In fact, it's a game changer for us. Right then, so do we have any drips? No water drips, no big oil drips. In fact, there's nothing new come down. There's a little bit on the floor from earlier on. I don't see anything, guys and girls. No signs of any major leaks, or in fact no leaks at all. Let's see how it beds in over the next few thousand miles then. So that's that done. I've gone under just looking, give it a bit of an inspection for any loose bolts or anything like that, but it's fine. So we just put the radiator shroud on, up I come. This camera stays steady as I move around. That's the great thing about this gimbal camera. So we're going to put the radiator shroud on. The fan shroud. Then I think we can fit the rocker cover, the cam cover. I think we can put that on. I was going to say run the engine and see if you get any leaks, but I'm just going to put that on, put it all back together, then keep my eyes on it. So that concludes that. All we've got to do now is drive it and just check for any pinking under load, and then set the timing exactly right. There is a sweet spot on them where you just get it right between power and pinkiness. If you run it on 97 octane, well, I don't have any problems on 97. If I switch to 95, I'll get pinking and I have to change the distributor to suit. So I always just fill it with 97 octane. That for me works. So let's put the cam cover back on and let's put the air pan back. I'll just put it back to how it was. Then we'll go for a drive. I'll bring you with me on this drive, and then that's the end of this video. Okay, we'll have done it all. We can move on to another car or another project, whatever we're up to next at Cortina City. Over and out for now. See you back in a sec. Okay, cam on and looking good. And now we're test driving Ruby. Out we go. Sounds all right to me. All the gauges are good, so it looks like we did a good job on the camshaft. Cam belt rebuild. Cam belt swap, I should say, rather. So now it's time, and just in time as well, everybody, to get the car for its stainless steel exhaust system. So it's off on its little journey now, and we've got also, hold on, this truck's going for it. I'm on cruise, by the way. We've got also bramble in for stainless as well, so it's a twin stainless affair going on here. We picked bramble up and dropped Ruby off, so it's a good job I got the cam belt sorted out, because we just did it in time with a day's spare. Not even a day's spare really, folks. So yeah, everything's all right. We should get, if I knock the cruise off, kick down still there, plenty of power, back to normal. Yeah, that's fine, no pinking. We are back in the game at Cortina City, always bringing you content, content and content. Of course, life's easier with the new camera, because you don't have to worry about the odd shake here and there, as you can see. And as you can see from some of the test clips we'll be doing on this video. So the video is a bit mixed, because there's quite a few different things happened at once, but at least it gives you some footage. We're going to have a look underneath the car at the stainless, but as I say, the camera makes life easier. A little rattle of plastic on the dashboard, we'll have to find out where that's coming from. That's new in the box. A rattle, we know we don't like rattles. Roads are grubby this time of year. Time for a wash. Yeah, really nice. Yep, plenty of power. Can't complain at that. Stick it into drive now. Held it on them gears. Into drive. Overdrive. Whoops! Hey! Feel that bump then, but you might have rode that a little bit better than the old days, the old camera days. Very nice. Yeah, I'm pleased with myself. Let's hope those oil leaks stay at bay. So let's get to this stainless system now. Come on, messing around. Let's go see this. Yeah, it's nice. Stainless then.
Seems so much more beautiful than they ever probably were. Just like top of the box.
Yeah, I'll just do this for the club. They wanted to, they're just saying, let us know how you get on with the stainless system. So I said, I'll give it a quick film shot and a photo. Nice that. Tucks in good, doesn't it? Yeah. Great, let's get the next one in.
You've noticed,
yeah, it's been hitting there, yeah, I know. It's because these springs, they're just too soft, they've collapsed. They're 50-year-old springs. I should have changed them, but I wanted to see how they were. They just want the next size up, poundage. Yeah, it's bottoming out there, yeah, I saw that. I felt it as well. Great, let's get the next one in. This photo. This photo there. Okay, stainless then. Stainless for Bramble. Sounds alright. He says it'll be a little tinny at first till it carbons up, but it fits nice. And it's just a nicer system than what we had sticking down. Obviously that was only ever meant to be temporary, so that's the end of that. So now we can just bed this exhaust in. So Ruby gets the same. So I just said, when you set up, you may as well do both cars, and off we go. But yeah, it is tinny sounding till it sort of builds up that residue of carbon and soot in there. It'll just quieten down a little bit, but it's not meant to sound sporty. I just asked him to do a standard sounding system, but it was tight fitting and just looked a lot neater, and it's done the job. So you're on board with Bramble this time. Over a little test drive. I'm going to go up to Dave's now, and we've got a Mk3 Granada. Let's go downtown and check it out. Crap weather as usual. Unbelievable. Abysmal weather. Tell you what, that was rough weather. It really was. Okay, we're back. So we swap cars now. You've now got Bramble in here and Ruby out for the stainless. So we saw quickly underneath the car, and now we're just going to see what the engine bay's like, seeing that we're on the topic of engine bays with the cam belt job we just did. I wonder what the condition of this is in terms of the oil leaks, folks. This is 2,500 miles now on this car. Soon adds up, doesn't it? But don't forget, we finished it a good few months ago now. So does Bramble stay clean? And it looks like it does. So let's have a look at that troublesome rocker gasket. This is the rubber one as well. Nothing coming from there, everything nice and dry. And that inlet manifold, which we powder coated, it seems to work, it's holding out. It might yellow off a little bit over time, but it'll only look a little bit more aged and factory. But that's gone good. The Fram filter, which everyone complained about. Do you know what? That Fram were the official filter suppliers to Ford when they launched the Mk3. Why do I know that? Well, I've got press release brochures showing Fram proudly in partnership with Ford for the filters. So everyone that says Fram this, Fram that, well, Fram. The Motorcraft one's actually not really that good. Marl, I reckon, are the best. But a filter, you know, every 5,000 we're changing that. This is due now, so this is really coming in for the oil change. And then just a review of any leaks and around the engine, but it stayed clean. Look, come on in with me. It stayed clean. Just wants the wipe down. There's no drips on the floor. We've got that lower hose to replace. If you look down here, I've got the wrong type of lower hose on. And it slightly weeps. And you know, someone said to me, they said, oh, you know, it leaks water, that car, so it's no good. So the whole car, right, listen to this one. The whole car, so look at that, and remember that it came out of that hedge and it had no roof on and bulkhead at one point. So the whole car's rubbish. You know why? Because it leaks a bit of water at the front. That's the mentality that you're up against. Instantly, it's just like, oh yeah, well that roof's always been on there, and you know, it's always been retrimmed and everything. It's just that you're not very good with Cortinas because you've got a leak. I think I care about one leaking hose. Right. How did the interior hold up? I'm just getting used to. I know I keep saying this. I keep getting used to. We've done away with the projector lamps. I didn't like them. They're too chavvy. So, using my torch for additional lighting. I've got the kick panel down. Look, I made that little trim piece on the carpet there. I've got the kick panel down because I'm just altering the graphic equalizer settings on the stereo, but just trying to tune that in. But yeah, we're basically doing a few little things. We're giving you something to look at. We're testing out the capability of the camera. I'm learning to use it. What I've learned is with the camera is that with this gimbal camera is just because it's got a gimbal, it won't make you a filmmaker. You have to put the effort in. So everything's got to still track in straight lines. You still have to keep your hand stable. You've still got to pretend that you're in treacle, because the camera can't compensate for you being stupid and moving your hand up and down. It works on even lines and slow moves. Otherwise, you're still gonna get rubbish footage. Everything should be evenly tracked. I think the sound will be a lot better as well. So you're able to do these nice shots round and get what you need with this camera. And it doesn't jar or anything like that. Good investment. Okay, all I've got to do is an oil change on Bramble. The exhaust is done. Can we see it? Well, we did go underneath the car. By the way, if you can see on the ground, because I know some people are OCD eagle eyes, this stain in here, I've re-injected some wax into ruby wax, and it dribbled out. Right, enough of that. I shall go and test the footage out. You've seen, you've been. That's stainless done, cam belt done, ramble over. We'll see what we can find next. Maybe that Mk3 Granada Scorpio. Oh no, that Mk3 Granada gear. Should we go and see that next? Come on, let's go and see the Granada. Let's get out to Dave's yard. There's a Granada, folks. With a 2-litre Pinto engine and auto box, there could be some spare automatic parts that I need. Maybe a bell housing if we ever want to change Project Tina G to a A4 box. We might have the bits. Let's go and see. And let's have a trip out anyway. Dave's yard calling.
Okay.
See how Swampy builds up some motorway speeds. Give us some sunglasses.
special treat for patrons then. Let's play rough with Swampy.
Yeah, don't forget I'm in the back seat with no seatbelt on.
Okay. That's 40 for Nuke. It's 40 anyway, so alright.
Okay.
Patreon only special to test the camera. We're camera testing folks in Swampy. Stop Summit Tweet as well in a sec. Get the cobwebs off the swamp monster. How will the camera cope with a roll the picture New York? I do see the slow signs, don't worry. Slippy surface for 2 miles. Wow, is it forward? Cloud's gone.
It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah. I know, it looks lovely.
I think this is a black spot. Just where we stop with those cows.
Yeah, the cows.
Okay, we'll go and have a look.
The little moo cows.
There's a picture of them.
Where? Oh yeah.
I can hear Skylark. Can you hear the Skylark? That is a Skylark. They're nesting on the ground. Wow. Hope I haven't frightened it. It's in there somewhere. I think they're singing to each other. Let's go and explore a bit more with Swampy.